It is said that the future happens one day at a time. Nowhere is this more so than in a place called Le Mans. That is where our story begins in 1923 on the public roads near this quiet French town. Here, a race called the 24 Hours of Le Mans is first run. The premise is simple: go farther and faster than anyone else in a race to tomorrow. This compelling challenge of man and machine in a battle of speed, efficiency, and endurance against the relentless force of time quickly captured the public's imagination then, as it still does today. It also continues to attract the interest of leading automobile manufacturers desiring to drive progress and build their brand's stature in the process. Today, the 24 Hours of Le Mans has become widely regarded as the most important and influential automobile race in the world. With this growing global presence also came an opportunity to bring the emotional resonance and relevance of Le Mans to the greatest consumer market on Earth. So it was that the American Le Mans Series roared to life in 1999, capturing the atmosphere, excitement, technology, and heritage of this great race in the form of a season-long championship. The American Le Mans Series has grown dramatically since that inaugural championship at the close of the last century.
American Le Mans has gained a lot of momentum over the last few years. They've got great venues that allow the crowds to get close to the cars and the people. They allow the crowds to understand and showcase the technology that we have. It's a great venue both in person and on television.
You look at the car corrals that we have out here this weekend. Corvette, Ferrari, Porsche, Mazda. These people relate their cars to what they're seeing happening on the track.
The reason that fans watch the American Le Mans Series is because they're excited about the technology. Whether it's Corvette running on cellulosic E85, looking just like their production car, or it's the Zytec running advanced hybrid technology, or Audi with biodiesel fuel, or Peugeot with diesel. I mean, those are the kind of things that people are interested in. Higher demographic people are interested in. That's why the autograph lines are high, that's why the Corvette corrals are full, and that's why the grandstands don't have room in them. The American Le Mans Series is the most technically advanced race series in this country.
You can't, in any other form of motorsport, have access to drivers and teams like you do in the American Le Mans Series. I mean, we're not hiding in our motorhomes. We're out, we're meeting fans, we're shaking hands, we're signing out autographs. The access of the fans to get into the paddock and visit with the drivers and the crews and get close to what are the coolest cars in the world.
When you have 175-mile-an-hour cars, you have world champion drivers, and the consumer is right there next to them. There's nothing else in any sport that compares to this. You can't do that at an NFL game, you can't do that at a baseball game, you can't do it in any other form of motorsport. I think that's what makes American Le Mans so popular and why it keeps growing and growing every year.
I think what's unique about American Le Mans Series racing is the passion that the fans have and the affinity for their vehicles on track. You are defined by your competition. And the competition in the American Le Mans Series was fantastic, with the likes of Porsche, Audi, Ferrari, all competing on the same track against each other at the same time. So it was a perfect venue for Acura.
It gives us the opportunity to show our technology. It's a continual progression in our world as far as advancing our cars, and this is the ideal place where we can show year upon year the changes we make to our vehicles and how we continue to be competitive.
It's not just said that it is world class, I'm convinced that it is world class, and it is a robust and very nicely managed and very nicely organized championship, which for a manufacturer is an excellent ground to proceed, and it's an excellent podium to market the products. It's the best way to bring people close to a product, and motorsport is always something emotional, and emotion always helps to support good ideas, and I think this is why the ALMS is a good way to do it.
We go production car racing. We want to show to the customers that what they can buy in the showroom is actually performing highly competitively on the racetrack. And of course, BMW is also very vested in racing tradition. Since the 30s, our brand has been racing, so associating ourselves with the racing series that honors these traditions is a great benefit.
There is a relevance to the everyday marketplace. We have 16 automobile franchises in the state of Pennsylvania. And for us to kind of race either what we sell or to race automobiles that do have a place in the market compared to, say, an Indy car, which there's no real relevance or connection to the everyday world. In an era of spec, just about every form of racing is spec'd out. Spec tires, spec wheels, spec shock absorbers, spec this, spec that. So we look at the LMS because of its lack of spec. We look at it as really a land of opportunity. This is the place where the manufacturers come to do battle.
These cars, I think, give a glimpse of tomorrow. Not today, but tomorrow. And they're utilizing technologies that today are at the leading edge of racing, but what's coming is what's even more exciting, because the American Le Mans rules allow the manufacturer and the competitor more freedom than any other series on the planet. I believe that all these things are aligning to make this series the series.
But this is still only the beginning of our story. For our race is not just to the checkered flag. Ours is a race to the promise of a better tomorrow. To minimize our environmental footprint and still travel farther and faster will foster ideas that may lead to a cleaner, more efficient automobile of tomorrow.
American Le Mans Series and racing as a whole has a great history of innovation, and if we can focus some of that talent on addressing the problems that we face today in petroleum dependency and emissions reductions and get those technologies from the racetrack into the cars that we drive, that's our goal.
But we don't just talk green, we encourage it, we act on it, and we reward it.
Actually, this is an outstanding time for Le Mans to be involved because they had a vision 2 years ago to approach our agency, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Department of Energy, and suggest that we work together in partnership.
There is no one solution to the green answer. There'll be many solutions. It's not just about hybrids, it's about efficiency, it's about using the resources that we have in the most efficient manner possible. And that's what's great about the Green Challenge, is that it's not a mandated formula. It's not just one technology that you use, but really an open invitation to everyone to come up with a different way, an environmentally friendly way, a green way to go racing. And that's what's exciting about it. It's not a formula. It taps into the creativity of everyone out there to come up with a different answer and a different solution.
Well, I think the Green Initiative is a very important thing at the moment, not just globally, globally, but also within our industry. And I think motorsport can play a very key role in sort of solving the problems as well. I think as an industry, I think we need to change, because if we don't change, we probably won't survive as an industry, because government legislation will probably stop those that pollute.
Ours is a race that showcases leading premium brands in a unique environment where passion and precision come together with brain and brawn, fusing heritage with desire.
We're blessed with the highest demographics of any racing series in America, and to an even more amazing extent, a higher demographic profile than Major League Sports and golf and all the rest. So it's the most affluent and influential fan base in the world.
We could go out and market to the masses, but we choose to take a rifle approach to a very high-end consumer. When we spoke with the American Le Mans Series, they were very open to building a custom sponsorship to our needs. So they were very open to us, willing to work with us to accomplish our goals. And really, the American Le Mans is a direct target to our consumers that we're really searching for.
Wielding significant consumer power and influence, our audience boasts the highest household income of any regularly televised U.S. sport, almost a quarter of whom have a net worth exceeding $500,000. The American Le Mans Series is a vibrant expression of life lived on the edge of change and progress. we invite you to learn more because our race is your race to tomorrow faster.